The Buffalo Bills head to L.A. on Sunday to face the Rams in America's Game of the Week on Fox. The last time we saw Josh Allen, he was throwing and catching and rushing for touchdown passes in the snow. Well, after the Rams game, the Bills will travel to Detroit to face the 12-1 Lions. So, the Lions are coming up. Sometimes you maybe overlook an opponent on the way to the tougher opponent. So is this Rams game a trap game for the Bills?
No, it's not. It's not a trap game for the Bills. I'm sure that message coming out of Buffalo is, look, we got something ahead of us. We've already taken care of the Kansas City Chiefs. We cannot afford for the Rams to all of a sudden clip us because we sleeping at the wheel. Kansas City plays the Chargers. If the Chargers beat Kansas City, with Buffalo already beating Kansas City, Buffalo basically take care of business in Detroit, it's a wrap for the #1 seed because they got like New England, the Jets, and New England. Those are the next 3 games after Detroit. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you got a chance at the #1 seed, and then you go from having a chance at the #1 seed and mess around and lose the 2nd seed to Pittsburgh, and then find yourself in the 3rd seed slot. You don't want to do that. So they know, same thing Dan Campbell, the Detroit Lions head coach, talked about the other day. This is a playoffs. The playoffs start for us right now. Even though it's not truly a one and done, but the mentality has to shift as we got our eye on the prize, and the prize is real close if we take care of business.
100% not a trap game. The trap game was last week, Joy. And I'll tell you, because this is the thing. It's human nature. When you play against a team that don't have all their pieces and weapons and that, you kind of take them lightly, and then they come in there, boom, get an L. We saw that with Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and you see that all around the league. It was like that when I played. We play a team which you're supposed to beat, and you wind up losing. That was in San Francisco. They took care of business. Now you're going to the Rams. The Rams have a lot to play for. They're healthy. You got you got Cooper, Stafford. I mean, this team is trying to make the playoffs. They're going to be up and ready because they know what the road, like he said, they know what the road ahead of them is Detroit coming up. So this ain't a game you want to take lightly. This is definitely not a trap game. They will be up and ready. And plus, Josh Allen is on his campaign for MVP trail. And what better place to do it than Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think this is a trap game for the Bills at all. The Rams are still in it. They're still fighting. They've got a Super Bowl winning head coach. They've got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They're a team that can beat anybody on any given day, on any given night. They're not going to take the Rams lightly. Like, the Rams have been up and down all season long, but they're not a bad team. They're not down bad, and they're absolutely still in the race. So they're going to come in completely prepared for the Bills. You're right. Josh Allen's not trying to, but is on the MVP trail. And this is not a game that they can afford to lose if they want to keep pace to potentially get the #1 seed and to stay at the top of the conference.
They want that #1 seed in the worst way.
Of course.
They want it in the worst way, and that's in my opinion, that's the way that they can get to the Super Bowl. Much like Detroit, if a team, this is different for Buffalo than it's been in the past when they had a home playoff game. If they get the #1 seed, that means that Kansas City has to go back. Anybody else has to go back in there and play. Unlike last year, it was just like, okay, whatever, we going in there. This is a different Buffalo team if they can somehow manage to steal that #1 seed away from Kansas City.
Yeah, and this is a road game. The Rams are going to be prepared for them. This is not a game that I think they're going to overlook at all. And the Lions are coming down, but they need to take care of business on the way to the Lions to those
Don't
games.
look ahead messing around with the Lions that ain't in your conference. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Look at the Lions, we worry about the Lions, and they're not even in your conference.
The Rams are right now on the schedule. Let's move on to the Bills' biggest rival, though, the Chiefs. They are 11-1, but they win by an average of 5.7 points per game. This week, Kansas City is only favored by 4 points at home against Jim Harbaugh's Chargers. KC did grind out a 17-10 win when the AFC West rivals faced off in L.A. in Week 4. So, Paul, is this finally the week? The Chiefs have been figuring out all these weird ways to win, capitalizing on mistakes. It's coming down to the wire. They don't look good. The defense struggles, and then it does well, and they're not connecting with Kelsey. Is this the week?
This is the week where they show everybody why we are the Super Bowl champs. It comes down, look, we're in Week 13 coming up. The Chiefs have been called all those things you've been talking about, but they're 11-1. They haven't played particularly well, but they're still 11-1, and they're still the defending champs. So usually in my playing days, we say, all right, guys, it's time to buckle down these last month of the season. Going into the playoffs, you want to start playing well. This is going to be a game, I believe, that the Chiefs send a message. They're like, look, there's 5 weeks left. Guys, it's time to buckle down. We got to start being on our A game. This is the time when we start getting our chemistry back. We start being motivated because, look, now, the light at the end of the tunnel is here now. We're at the end of the season because you can get bored with this process because it's a long year for them. So I really believe that they're going to play their best football this weekend and make a statement to the rest of the league like, look, don't forget who we are.
Y'all must have forgot.
Y'all must have forgot.
Is this the week it doesn't work out for the Chiefs?
No, I think Kansas City will be fine. I mean, they beat the Chargers early, what do you say, week 4, 17-14 or something like that. The Chargers could beat them. Justin Herbert has played well in Arrowhead in the past, all those different coaching staff. I don't see it happening because Kansas City knows the importance of the #1 seed and people having to come to Kansas City to play, and there'll be scoreboard watching along the way. So I don't see where it could. I think it could happen, but I don't see really where it would happen.
I mean, it is a divisional game. I could see. I think it's going to be competitive, like all of the Chiefs games have
Absolutely.
been all season long. But I'll believe it when I see it. I've been saying it all season long. I think they three-peat. I don't care about what happens.
I don't know about the three-peat.
I do. I think they do because I think that they're just a different team in the postseason, and I have to see it with my own eyes. I need to see them fail in the postseason before I believe that any of this stuff that's going on in the regular season is going to translate to that. But whether they get caught at the end of this game, I don't think so. They have things they need to fix, but I've seen it too many times.
They feel like the way that they've been playing, it feels like they're the type of team that's going to lure us in to believe that they can three-peat. And then they get knocked out in the first round or the divisional round by a Pittsburgh Steeler type team or something like that.
Honestly, the Steelers are the only team that I would pick against them.
I think Baltimore would like to get another shot at them.
I would not pick Baltimore against Kansas City in the postseason.
I think they want to get another shot at them.
I think they want to. If it was Baltimore and Kansas City right now, I'm picking Kansas City.
This year, see, they had the opportunity. They got to go back into Kansas City now. They had them. Their time was in Baltimore last year. And they blew it. That was it. That was the time.
I've been there, done that before where teams have done that, and then you say, man, I can't wait to get back there and then go and take care of business. When you get beat up so many times, as a kid, you got beat up so much, you fight back, eventually, Paul. You know what I'm saying? Go on and give it to me.
They used to try to fight back with me. They always kept getting beat up.
No, but in all honesty,
Chuck the bully?
Chuck the bully. But that's I think Baltimore. Look, I think any of the 3 teams can go in there and potentially swing. Is Buffalo, obviously, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. I think they could go into Kansas City and clip them.
Yeah, I think they could. I think the only team that would, though, is the Steelers.
Joyce from Pittsburgh, everyone. I'm just trying to. I'm telling you. That's why she thinks that.
But she also got
the opportunity multiple times to do that. Baltimore has the opportunity to do that.
But you got Kansas City.
It's a new year, but
you got Kansas City winning it all, though.
I do.
Kansas City can't beat Detroit and Philadelphia, to me. So I don't know if they got in the Super Bowl
whoever
together.
comes out of the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying Kansas City and anybody against Kansas City, those teams, and whoever comes out of there in terms of those 2 teams.
Like if
Kansas City's in the Super Bowl, they can't beat anybody that comes out of the NFC?
No, they can't beat. They won't be able to. Because Green Bay can come out of the NFC. They could beat Green Bay.
Okay.
But I don't think they could beat Philadelphia.
Well, it's going to be one of those 2 teams.
Or the Lions.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Green Bay ain't going to lay down now.
No. I think the postseason is going to be really exciting. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.